Welcome all of you to Infinity Learn by Sri Chaitanya, where right now we are in the process of taking you on the journey to getting your best results out of JEE Mains 2023. So in the last day, you had a session about the new notification of JEE, where Bashir sir and Vibhati ma'am together told you about it. In this session, I have something a bit different. In this session, we'll essentially be focusing, like the title says, on how to score 250 plus marks in JEE 2023. Before I get started with it, just a quick introduction about me. My name is Aniruddha Roy. I'm originally from Kolkata and I have studied in IIT Kharagpur. I've done my master's in physics from IIT Kharagpur, and the way I got into IIT Kharagpur, this is a big thing. I flaunt it occasionally that I was the All India second rank holder in IIT JAM, which means I have some experience with competitive examinations, both myself. I've even been teaching students for the last 9 years. So today I'll be giving you the strategies that I have given to students and the strategies that I have followed myself to get a rank like this in a competitive examination. All right. So that being said, let's not waste any more time. We'll just get started with it. Firstly, a quick thing about the JEE in particular, because very recently we have got the notification about when the JEE mains are supposed to be held, and there's quite a few things to take away from here. Not just the data is there, but there's quite a few things that I want to mention to you because students will not do that. First up, let's look at the dates. So this is the January dates. You have examinations on 24th, 25th, all the way to 31st of January. You don't have it on 26th because it's a Republic Day, it's a national holiday, you don't have it over there. So besides that, you have it all over here, all 7 dates, 7 right? Yeah, 7 dates over here. And the registration date, the registrations are open. Right now, you can go ahead and register. And the last date for registration for JEE Main is January 12th. Now, what is there to take away from this? You'll also get the admit card in the 3rd week of January. That's not the thing to focus on. These two are the things to focus on. So what is there to take away from here? Firstly, the registration. It might seem like a no-brainer to you that you should register and you should register quickly, but you do not know how many times students wait till the last day, till about January 10th, January 11th, till the last day. They will wait. This is Indian mentality. I don't know why this is, but we like to wait till the end to do our tasks. So many students, they'll wait till January 10th, 11th, even 12th midnight they'll wait. And then what happens is that the server is going to crash. And when the server crashes, this has happened once in my career. And once I had one student who could not register because the server had crashed and he had no way of getting out of it. Okay, you don't want that to happen. Anyway, even if you stay till then, the panic that will ensue in you will drive you crazy. So you have time. That's not like this is going to take up a lot of time to fill. It's not like you need difficulty arranging the money for the fees or anything. Get it done ASAP. Don't waste time with this. I'll tell you, you have about 36, 37 days left. You don't want any additional source of stress. And the second important point, you got the registration down. The second important point is that this is very common. You'll get lots of students who will say that I'm not fully prepared yet. I have this chapter to do. I have that chapter to do. I have a few backlogs. And so what I'll do is that I will skip the January exam and I'll prepare for the April one. That is where I'll be really strong with it. That is where I will really score. And I'll tell you, that is, I don't like to use the word, but that is a stupid decision to take. All right? It's a very crass words, I know, but that's a stupid decision to make. Because skipping this January exam, if you might justify it the way you want, you might say that you're not prepared or you want to do it perfectly, but that is just an excuse. That is your fear of the exam and that is your procrastination playing a part over here. You don't want to do that. You don't want to give yourself up to fear and procrastination. You want to take this up. Why do you want to take this up? Because back in my time, when I was giving JEE, we did not have 2 exams. We did not have a January and an April. We directly had one in April. And what happened at that time? was that no matter how well prepared you are, you can have an off day. You might fall sick. You might just not be at your best at that time. And then what will happen is that your exam will flounder. You will do really poorly in the examination, and you will feel like it's unjust to you that you worked hard, you knew everything, but because you were sick, because you had an off day, your exam went, your JEE rank went, you did not get the college of your choice. That is why JEE brought in 2 dates, so that you now have a backup. And if you're not using this backup, if you're not giving an exam over here, then you're essentially playing a very risky game. Because in the April examinations, if you take only one shot, if you go to the April examination, just give an examination there's a very high chance, I won't say it will happen to you, but there is a chance that you would have an off day that day. What excuse will you give then? If you have studied for 2 years, if you have studied for 3 years and you fall sick on April, what excuse will you give then? So this is a bonus. This is a gift from NTA to you. Take this gift. You practice mock tests, right? A mock test does not get more real than this. This is your real mock test. Give this no matter what happens. Don't wait for April. If you're willing to give this, if you're willing to do it, I just want you to put it in the comment that just say yes, we will. It's a commitment that we will give the January exam. We will not wait all the way till April. We will not procrastinate. We will give the mock test. Give this as a mock test if you need to. Give this as the legit test, because that will have a lot of benefits. Okay, so we've got this down. Let's move ahead. Now we're coming to the crux of this video, which is getting 250 plus. Now, I'll not bore you with the details. If you're targeting 250 plus, you already know what percentile roughly you would be getting. You already know that if you get 250 plus, you'll get almost any college you want. Any college, any stream you'll want. Okay? So that is not the point. The point is, besides just this anything, any college you want, a lot of students have a lot of hesitance. They don't want this 250, and there are two categories of students over there. The first category think that they cannot get 250 plus. They think that we are mediocre students, our teachers say we are mediocre students, even our friends believe us to be mediocre, and we just need to crack JEE, get into a college of our choice and be done with it. And to them, I'll give you this quote. It says that shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars. What does this mean? This means aim high, shoot for the moon. Right? Shoot for the moon means to aim high, to target the best. Because even if you don't get that, even if you target 250 plus and you don't get that, the fact that you targeted this means you might fall somewhere around 220, you might fall somewhere around 200, and even 200, 180, 190 is a good score. If you believe that you're a mediocre student, then for you even a 220 or a 230 is a very good score. If that is what you're targeting, if you target 200, if you target 180, you will land at 150. If you target 250 plus, then you will come at 220, 230. So to all of those students who have this belief that we are mediocre, we cannot get to this number, strive to it, shoot for it. Even if you don't get there, you'll land in a place where you will be really happy and proud of yourself. So that's the first category. The second category are those students who maybe believe that they can get there, but they don't care enough. And a big category of that are people who don't really want to pursue engineering, or they don't want to pursue anything related to studies. And for them, why do I need to get this? Why do I need to get to top colleges? I'll tell you, I'm a IIT alumni. I've been at IIT Kharagpur. And IIT Kharagpur is not a place for studious people. IITs, NITs, any top colleges, they're not a place for studious people. They're a place for successful people. It doesn't matter if you're good in studies, or if you want to pursue music, or if you want to pursue dance, or you want to pursue sports. When you get into an IIT or an NIT, that university will ensure that you become successful at what you want to do. They will not tell you to study. It's a misconception that once you go into IIT, you have to study a lot. What you study now, when you go to IITs, NITs, you'll study maybe about 30% of that. If you want to study more, you want to excel in academics, you can do that. But if you want to pursue anything else, the university will tell you, you don't need to do classes, go play cricket. If you're good at cricket, you want to be successful in cricket, go play cricket. And they will bring selectors to you. They will select you. So IITs and IITs don't want studious people, they want successful people. And once you go there, you will be surrounded by successful people. There's an important quote. It says that you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Which means if you surround yourself with successful people, you will be successful. That is why, irrespective of what your goal is, whether you want to be a great engineer, whether you want to work at Google, or you want to become a YouTuber, a stand-up comedian, get into the top colleges. They will give you the exposure that it's very difficult to get outside of. Okay? So 250 plus, this has to be your target, irrespective of what your goals are, irrespective of what you believe your current state is. Always target above 250 plus. Now, as said, as promised in this session, I'll be telling you about a few ways, about a few things that you can do to get a marks above than this, more than this. And these are methods that I have used myself and methods that I have seen. I've seen students falter at, and I've also seen, okay, so we are getting a few comments. I'll come back to the comments just a moment. So I've seen a few students falter in this, right? And these are the things that I want you to understand and fix about yourself, because less than 40 days left. You don't have a lot of time to try out things and make mistakes. So I'm here to tell you about where you can make mistakes and how you can fix that. So before that, we're targeting 250 plus. If you want to get 250 plus, if you want to get into IITs, if you want to get into NITs, you want to be among successful people, comment, I want this. Comment it down below so that it's a commitment to yourself that you aim to get 250 plus, you aim to shoot for the moon, and then try to get to the moon. Even if you miss, you land among the stars. So we are getting a few comments. Hi, John Paul. So you're saying, not good in syllabus now. Can I still get 99% in Jan attempt? Yes, you can. Don't believe that you cannot get 99. Don't let anyone tell you cannot get 99%. Because once you believe you cannot get 99%, I'm telling you can't get 90%. So believe for 99%. Push for that. Right? So you're targeting. So John Paul, thank you. You said you want 250 plus. Vaishnavi says she wants this. Great. Great. So we have got a very enthusiastic crowd. Keep this energy up, right? You have to say that you want this. Put it in the comment. Tell it to yourself. Even if your teacher who says that you cannot do it say that I want this. If you want it, you'll get it. Okay. Now the 5 points, one by one, we'll cover them all. Okay. First up, the first mistake that students make. We'll mainly be focusing on the mistakes so that you know what to do, what not to do, and what to do. All right. Yeah. So it says, first one, don't waste time reading theory. I'm getting directly into the meat of the matter. I'm not talking any motivational thing now. It's like directly in the meat of the matter. Don't waste time reading theory. So these JEE students, they consider for some reason that NCERT is like, I would say, it's like Bible to them. It's like Bhagavad Gita to them. It's what they live by. So it's like, I think it's 2-3 years back, right? And I had a student, he told me that every night he used to sleep on NCERT books. He used to place the physics book, above that he used to place the chemistry book, then the maths book, then he used to place his pillow and he used to sleep on that. Okay? And that guy used to come to the classes like this with his neck turned. You can expect how you sleep on that high a bed, that high a pillow, your neck's going to turn, right? And that's not the only thing. Like if you believe that sleeping on that book it's not osmosis. Your head is not a semi-permeable membrane. In the books there's a greater concentration of knowledge. Here there's a lesser concentration of knowledge. Knowledge will flow in. It doesn't work that way. Okay, so don't think that NCERT is everything. especially now. Don't waste time reading theory. But I'll still see. So how many of you, first tell me that how many of you have done this? How many of you, like, even now you're reading NCRT? How many of you are still reading NCRT? If you're reading NCRT still, like a storybook, like this is, so let's assume this to be this, that to be this scientist did this. If you're doing that, you are giving excuses to yourself. There's no better way to put it. You're giving excuses to yourself. And I'll tell you why exactly students love NCRT, why students study NCRT. The answer is that NCRT is comfortable. It does not challenge you. It's easy language, it's easy content, you read it, you don't feel challenged, and you get this false illusion that, oh, I'm reading this, I must be doing well. I've studied 5 hours, 6 hours today, what have you done? I have read NCRT. That's an illusion. You think you're making progress, you're doing nothing. You, at home, you pick up a water bottle, like you pick up a water bottle about 5 times a day, 5 to 10 times a day. And for your life, for the 17, 18 years of your life, you have been picking up a water bottle. Do you see your biceps bulging out because you pick up water bottles? Why not? Because that's easy, that's comfortable. To get your biceps to bulge out, you need to go to the gym, you need to push yourself, go past your comfort limit. If you stick to NCRT, that's lifting that water bottle, that's an everyday thing. If you want results, NCRT is not going to give it to you. No textbook's theory is going to give it to you. So now the question is, if you don't study NCRT, what do you do? The answer is just 2 things. Notes and practice questions. That is it. In these 37 days, 40 days, that's all you should focus on, not theory. If you have made notes, let me know how many of you have made notes. How many of you have your own made notes? That may be notes that you have written down somewhere, that may be notes marked on NCRT. So that is the only time you should read from NCRT. If you have highlighted it, if you have written notes over there, read the notes. Don't read stories. Those stories are meant, so I'll tell you it's a very hot take on the thing, but I strongly believe, NCRT is not meant for students. At least physics, I believe, NCRT is not meant for students. NCRT is meant for teachers to know what to teach. So it's just like, even now, I've been teaching for 9 years. What do I use NCRT for? I use NCRT to check the syllabus. Because if a student reads from NCRT, it's going to, what will take him about 1 hour to understand. A good teacher will make you understand in 2 minutes. Why waste that time? Your time is precious. You have 40 days. You have less than 40 days left. So how many of you have made notes? Let me see that out here. How many of you have made notes over the years, over the course of 2 years? Some of you may have started way back in class 11. Great for you. That's a very good habit to have. And some of you might have just recently got introduced to it. So wherever you are, if you have, just put it down there in the comments below. Let me know if you have made the notes. Where have you made the notes, right? But here's the thing. Even if you haven't made the notes, there's nothing to panic. There's notes available. You'll get notes on the Infinity Learn platform. You'll even get it through our Telegram channel. All the links will be posted. It will be posted in the chat, or it will also be posted down in the description. So you'll get them all. And focus on those notes. So after notes, you have questions. And that is what will give you the result. Because think about it this way. So students, when they are preparing for competitives, when they're preparing for JEE, they think they study. You don't study for JEE. You train for JEE. You will see a football player, right? A football player, suppose Messi. Okay? So Messi is playing this World Cup final. How many of you are like supporting him? So hopefully Messi wins. I'm counting on that. But anyway, he's a football player. And what does he do? He doesn't study. He doesn't open a book and read how to pass. He doesn't even read a book about how to shoot. He goes in the field and he practices. That is how you get better. If you read a book about how to solve, say, differential equations, step 1 is this, step 2 is this, step 3 is this, you'll learn nothing. That thing has already been taught to you by your teacher. Go out there, practice. As you practice, you'll know how to handle different kinds of questions. Okay, so that is the key. You have to do notes and focus on practice questions. Do not stay in the comfort zone of NCERT. All right, now we move on to the next point, and that is a big one: clearing your backlog. You all know, if you are preparing for competitives, you know this term. This is scary. This is something which everyone knows that they have. I'm telling you, even the toppers have some kind of a backlog. Even I had a backlog about a month or two before this. And this backlog, if not dealt with properly, can mess up your mind. Not the exam, but it will mess up your mind. And that can lead to a poor result in the exam. So the best way to understand backlog. So I had a maths teacher back when I was in, I think, class 11. And he used to explain what a backlog is. So what is a log? A log is a wooden, you can think of it like a thick wooden rod. It's like something like this. It's a big, thick wooden rod. And a backlog is like that log, it is shoved up your back. Okay, it's shoved up your back. And the longer you wait, the longer you let the topics pile up, the deeper it gets shoved in. So our maths teacher, every time we used to go there, our maths teacher would ask us that, so how far is it? He used to ask us like this, that has it reached the small intestine? Has it reached the large intestine? So that's how he explained backlog, and I think that's a very good way, because it's like you have to get it out. It's uncomfortable, it will bother you like crazy, a backlog that stays there. So how do you clear the backlog? Firstly, I want you to tell me, like this is specific, tell me what chapters in physics. So I'm a physics teacher, I'll understand this even better. In physics, what are the topics that you have a backlog in? Put them down in the comment. Put them down. I'm looking at the comments. Put them down in the comments, and I want to see what kind of chapters you have as a backlog. It might be one chapter, it might be one entire section. Doesn't matter. Let me know what is it that you have a backlog in. Right? Because I'll tell you why backlogs are not that big a deal. Backlogs are just scary. Backlogs feel like you can never do that. But backlogs are not that scary. And explain to you, put it down in the comment section about what are the chapters that you have a backlog in. And I'll address them one by one. I'll show you why it's not that difficult. Put mainly physics. So current electricity. Shashi Kumar says that it's current electricity. So thermodynamics, current electricity. Great, we are getting a lot of questions. Now you'll see, you're getting a few, and these are the big ones. Current electricity, thermodynamics are pretty big. But here's what's great about physics. Everything is connected. Which means even if you feel that there is one chapter out there which you have never studied, which you have not done, all of them are in fact connected. And if you have ever, so Shashi, let me know if you have completely left, like if you're scared to touch current electricity and thermodynamics. Because if you're scared of touching that, then you're making a mistake. Because backlog, especially in physics, because everything is connected, even though you feel that you don't understand thermodynamics and current electricity, I'm telling you, when you sit for it, when you sit to do it, you'll see about maybe you started learning about current electricity or thermodynamics 5-6 months back. And that time, you either missed the class or you did not understand enough and you like have 10% knowledge about it. So that's a backlog. I'm telling you, after you've finished the syllabus, right now your syllabus should be finished. If you've come pretty far, and now when you start reading them, you will see that 10% knowledge that you had, that has now become 50%. Why? Because everything is connected. Because you have been giving exams. This current electricity will apply in other places as well. The Kirchhoff's law will apply in other places as well. Even if you're doing transistors, you have a bit of Kirchhoff's law over there as well. So you are using bit by bit everywhere. And because that time Kirchhoff's law was difficult to understand, now when you read about it, now that you have seen one of its application, it's a lot easier to grasp. Remember, physics, or rather I should say science in particular, is all about drawing analogies. One analogy, in mechanics and rotational mechanics, that's the very basic one. But everywhere else, things are pretty connected. things, you'll get analogy. So Shashi Kumar, I want you to now, maybe if you've left it for quite some time, like you said, you're not thorough with it, you've left it for quite some time, I want you to give it a shot. I want you to give it a shot, and I want you to try to approach that. Don't be scared. Try to approach that. I'm telling you, by now it has become a lot simpler to you. It might not be completely ready, but it will become a lot simpler to you. And the way, so that's it. That's the motivation to get you started, not to be scared of backlogs. It's not that difficult. Everything is connected. What was difficult then, 6 months down the line will not be as difficult because you've learned many things in the way. Now the way is, how do you study the backlog? Because I just said don't open NCERT and read. If you're doing that for backlog, again you're making a mistake, you're wasting time. Don't open NCERT, start reading theory. No matter how good the book is. There's a very good book called Resnick Halliday Walker. That's one of the best theory books. But even that, don't read that. A better way to study any backlog is to rather look at any lecture. Any YouTube lecture. So we have YouTube lectures on our Infinity Learn platform. If you're from Chaitanya, you would have access to the Meta app. You have one-shot videos there. Focus on that. Listen to that once. And don't strive for perfection. In backlog, don't strive for perfection. That is a mistake that students make. Because when you strive for perfection, you will never feel fulfilled. Once you have decided it's a backlog, you'll always feel it's a backlog. So don't strive for perfection. If there's 1 hour, so we have these one-shot videos, 1 hour videos, go through that. That's 1 hour over there. Then jump right into questions. Don't be scared. Jump right into questions. As you solve questions, you can't figure out, look at the solved example. Look at the solved solution to that. Move ahead. That is how you do backlog. You do backlog by going through a quick video, quick lecture, and also by solving questions. Don't sit in your comfort zone with a backlog. The backlog will stay forever, and if you're targeting 250 plus, you can't have a lot of chapters in a lot of backlog. Okay, so Shashi, I want you to say that you will give it a shot. You'll give current, electricity, thermodynamics another shot, and you will practice. You will practice questions. You will not be like, I want to be perfect at it. So, see, I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you a very serious thing. Many students want perfection in a subject. I've been teaching for 9 years. I told you my All India rank was 2nd. I've studied from IIT Kharagpur, and I'm telling you, even after this long, after teaching for this long, after getting such a good rank, if I'm given a physics paper, there might be questions I cannot answer. I'm not perfect. And after 9 years and with this rank, if it's not happening, then you can understand that perfection is too far out. That's not what you want to strive 40 days before the exam. It's about getting as much done in as quick a time. Okay, so Shashi, if you're there, I want you to commit that you will do this. You will give current, electricity, thermodynamics another shot, and I will tell you, there's a slide over there. I'll tell you how to approach, how to break down time so that you have time for backlog. Okay, I'll tell you about that as well. Now, this is a very good example, by the way. I mean, once I thought about backlog and a log, like this is the first image that popped into my mind. I surfed through the internet to find this. Captain America ripping apart a log. This is what you should be. You have a backlog. First, like my maths teacher said, first take it out and then rip it apart. Okay? But backlog creates another problem. If you let the backlog pile, it's going to create a problem. And that problem is panic. And this is the one that I've seen absolutely ruin even the best students. Panic can ruin no matter how good your preparation is. If you panic a month before the exam or even a few days before the exam, right? Panic before just days before the exam or a month before the exam, it can ruin you. So you're getting a few questions. Nova, 99 percentile, how much marks? So right now we are doing 250 plus marks, but 99 I would say even at 200, around 200, you should be getting somewhere around 99 percentile marks. Okay, but Nova, I think you have joined in late. If you have joined in late, here's the very first principle that we discussed about. Is that okay? I'm getting the questions again and again. So if you have just joined, here's the thing, 250 marks. That's what you should target. If you want 200, if you want 99 percentile Nova, you need to strive for 100. If you strive for 100, because people who strive for 99 percentile get 97, 96, 90 percentile. People who strive for 100, if you're like 99 percentile, I can leave out this chapter, I can leave out that chapter, you will come at 95 percentile. Don't strive for that. Strive for 100 percentile. We are mainly covering for 250 plus. That's 99.97 percentile. You'll get any college you want. Strive for that. Shoot for the moon, Nova. Okay. Now, like I was telling, let's get back to it. Panic. Panic can ruin students because let me quickly tell you a bit about panic. Why we panic, so that you better understand how. So there's a chemical, a hormone in our body called cortisol, and that is released by our adrenaline glands. When is that released? Whenever we are under stress. So you might be familiar with fight and flight hormone, adrenaline. So it's somewhat similar to that. So even cortisol will like build up stress in you, it will build up panic in you, and you like fight or flight. So if you don't want to fight, what will you do? You will fly. So you'll like, either you'll panic, you'll run away, you'll give up, or you will just try to fight and not be able to because there's too much cortisol in your brain. Your thinking is too cloudy. And why I say panic is going to ruin this, because I'll give you a story and tell me if this happened with you. This happens with you or not. Alright? So suppose you have a plan. You have a plan that I'll do this chapter today, next day I'll do this chapter, the following day I'll do this chapter and everything. You have a perfect plan for it. And you do the chapters, you're going according to plan, it's great. And you have another friend, a very close friend of yours, who also has a plan. But his plan is a little different. His plan is a little different. He's doing different chapters at different times. So when you call him up and you tell him that I've finished these chapters, and he tells that, oh, I've also finished this. So maybe some of those chapters that you have done, he has not yet done, because that's not in his plan yet. But there's some other chapter what he has done. If you are panicking, what you will do is you'll immediately drop the plan that you have, and you'll like jump to his plan. 2 days later, another friend will call you and he will tell you about his plan. You will drop this, you'll jump to that plan. There's a phrase in Hindi. There's a phrase in Hindi called na ghar ka, na ghat ka. That would be you. This means ki you're neither are you accepted at home, nor can you go out. You're like stuck. Neither like ghat ka means like you're dead, even you can consider that. Okay? So you are nowhere. You're trying to step on 2 boats and ride. You'll fall in the water. So that is what panic does to you. So here's the thing, don't make a plan in panic and don't change a plan in panic. If you're scared, that is not the time to make a plan. Make a plan before you're scared, and if you stick to the plan, there should be no reason for you to be scared. And there's a second thing. Okay, so Nova has asked, so is there any revision strategy for 10 days and is it enough? So we have 37 days now, Nova. And those 37 days, I'll tell you, are enough. I'll give you a timing breakdown. How much time you should give to notes, how much to revision, how much to backlog. I'll break it down and I'll give it to you. There's a slide coming which discusses about that, and over there, you'll get to know the plan. It's not for 10 days. Why do you want 10 days? Don't stick for 10 days. Don't cut it so close. There's a reason we are posting this video about 37 days before. Because at 10 days, the strategy is, if you have not done these things till the last 10 days, then you are in a world of trouble. And then your strategy is going to be very different. And that strategy will not necessarily get you the best result. So don't rely on that 10 days. Okay, Nova? So right now 37 days, we'll do it. You can do it. You can get not just 99 percentile, but 99.97 or even 100 percentile. Target for that. So panic, the second point about panic, and this is very popular among students. I did it as a student, and I'm telling you, this technique to study is a scam. You know what technique that is? That technique is called group study. Group study is not when you study together. Group study you do when you want to also be sure that I am not studying, I have to make sure the other person is also not studying. That is group study. Because when you do so, how many of you have done group study? Okay, 75 paise PCM or for overall, please reply, Bhaiya, you have to cross 75%, that's okay. If you're targeting this 250 plus, well, Krishna, don't dream of that, don't have that 75%. Why do you want to stay there? That's fear taking over. Amal Krishna, that is your fear taking over. Don't let your fear take over. I'm telling you, if you target 75% or if you target 99%, your preparation is not going to change too much. It's still going to stay the same. Maybe only thing I'll recommend that you do your stronger chapters in the beginning, but even then, don't target for 75%. If you believe at this 37 days before, if you believe that you want 75%, you'll get 75% and that would be it. Okay. Now, Nova, you're planning to complete the syllabus before 10th Jan and remaining days revision. So, syllabus, try to do with revision. Right now, you have like 37 days, even with regards to the chapters in physics, chemistry, maths, even if you do one chapter per day, that's roughly the same. So, I'd recommend, like I did so much, that you don't read a book, don't revise that way. Revise with notes and revise with practicing questions. It doesn't matter if you want, that's your syllabus, you've heard it once somewhere in school, in some lecture, you've heard it somewhere, right? Get on with it. Get the notes. You'll get the notes on the Infinity Learn app. You'll get the notes on our Telegram channel, right? Amal Krishna, you're a dropper. So what? So what if you're a dropper? You don't need to settle for 75% if you're a dropper. Who said that you need to settle for 75%? Even if you're a dropper, you can aim for 99%. So what if the first year you scored maybe lower? That's why maybe you dropped. That doesn't mean second year you suppose, I'm assuming you even scored 50% in the last year. Why do you, if you're really pushing your boundary, why do you stop at 75? Push it to 100. Push it to 100. There's nothing, there's no fear. Don't hold that fear. Push it to 100. Strive for that. There was a slide, I don't know if you joined a bit later, we did a slide, there was a quote. It says that if you shoot for the moon, you will land among the stars. Which means if you strive for 100%, you will arrive at 95, you'll arrive at 90, you'll arrive at maybe even, since you're targeting 75, maybe you'll reach 85. But if you target 75, if you believe I'm a dropper, I cannot do this well, 75 would be difficult for you. Okay? Don't rely there. So anyway, coming back to it. We are talking about panic. And we were talking about that scam. Scam, that is group study. How many of you have done group study here? How many of you have like, we want to do group study, I've got a bunch of friends, my mother cooked food, we studied a little, we ate the food. That's a scam. Nothing much happens in a group study. If you really want to do group study, there's benefits to multiple people studying together. Do that over a call. Why? Because if you are together and if you are in a panic and stressed mode, that people together is not an uplifting thing. You're there, you would go there, your body will want to like chill out because it's so stressed. You've met your friends after so long, your body will want to chill out. So no way, you never did it, great. Any study guide for commerce student? I'm sorry, Ritam, this is not for commerce students, but the principles that I'm telling you here, because these are not, and none of these are science specific in particular. So if you want to stay back, you can go ahead and look, all of these, if you're preparing for an examinations, all of these will apply for you. Okay? So anyway, the group study is, don't do that group study if you are like, there's another friend of you and you're like competing with each other, that's good. That's healthy competition. Do that over a call, don't sit together. As soon as you see your friend, too stressed, you'll chill out. Okay? So that's a big thing that panic makes you do. Don't do that. Now, this is a big one. There's a famous book. It's one of my favorite books. It's called Atomic Habits by James Clear. And this, listen to the quote. It says, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. What does this mean? So what is your goal? Your goal is JEE 2023. As you've come here, your goal is to get some of your best results in JEE, maybe 250 plus in JEE, and that's the goal. Everyone has that goal. Why is it that some people get there and some people don't? Because along with that goal, you need a plan and you need a system. A plan is the step-by-step procedure that you need to get to the goal. What is a system? A system is what you need to ensure that you can follow that plan. I'll give you a few examples of systems, and then I'll explain to you why systems work, why you need systems, why a plan will not get you too far. You people, be honest. You people have been studying for 2 years. You might have made many plans. How many plans have there been? How many of those strategies have there been that you have done absolutely flawlessly? That you've 30-day plan, every day I've ticked off. That's exactly what I followed. How many times have you done that? Forget studies. Any plan that goes beyond maybe 1 week, 2 weeks, how many times have you done that? Why? Because you don't have systems. You need systems to do that. So I'll give you two systems. These are very cliched things, but I'll explain to you why they are systems. A crucial thing, a big distraction for students at this time are mobile phones. So you need your mobile phones. I admit you need your mobile phones, you need your laptop. You're seeing this on some digital device. You're seeing this on YouTube. And beyond this, what happens usually is that you will see some recommended video, something funny, not even funny, it's like someone is doing something and you'll tap on it and 2 hours will be wasted. So phone is a big distraction. So your plan is that I should not use my phone. That is the plan. But you can't stay true to it. Why? Because it's our human nature. We succumb to temptation. So what is the system? The system is pretty straightforward. This is just to give you an example. When you're studying, you might have heard this many times. When you're studying, if possible, this video, suppose you're watching this video or some other video lecture that we put out there and you want that, download it if possible, and then turn off the internet. That is the system. Because now it's not just relying on your willpower that I will not look at any other YouTube video. It's not relying on your willpower. Now you have a system. You cannot exit, you cannot access something else. And the fact you can say that I can turn on the net, that's one extra step. If you want temptation, make it difficult to get. That is the only way to resist temptation. So all this relies with your willpower. And I get a lot of students in these 9 years, my God, 11, 12 students. They are so overconfident. They have so much belief in themselves. It's great. It is great. But at the end of the day, realize that you are humans. And humans behave a certain way. Willpower is the ability to resist or stay true to your goals. Willpower is not an unlimited resource. Your willpower there's a limited resource. Every morning you wake up, you have certain amount of willpower. You have your phone, there's a YouTube link, it's very tempting, you don't want to take it, you let it go, and you let it go. So what do? You use up some willpower. Okay, so Nova, I'll get to the detailed plans we'll be having in a session. In this session though, towards the end, I will give you a time breakdown in terms of percentage about what you can do for the mains. Okay, but focus on these things. So over here you're using up your willpower. Bit by bit you're using up your willpower. So that by the evening, willpower is finished. You see the first YouTube link, you tap on it, you waste your time. So set up systems that ensure that your willpower is not used up. And only then can you stay true to your plan. And only then can you achieve the goal of getting 250 plus in JEE mains. Okay, now Nova has been asking for this plan. So there's a very simple rule, and this is a rule that I used to follow. This is a rule that helped me get an All India second rank in IIT JAM in 2016. And I'll give you that. It's a very simple time breakdown rule. That's the 10-30-60 rule. And it's very straightforward. First up, the first point in this rule is to study each subject every day. I've seen students who will do first week, first 7 days, I'll only study physics. Next 7 days, I'll only study chemistry. Next 7 days, I'll only study maths. There's a big problem with that method. The problem is that if you study, suppose your favorite subject is physics, after that 7 days, you will not want to leave that. And if on the other hand, you have suppose maths, and maths is really difficult for you, you're giving 7 days, but after the second day, you're already tired, you're already fatigued, more maths, 5 more days of maths, you'll do it at its snail's pace. You're like, I just need to somehow get these 7 days past. So you're not doing anything effectively, not physics, not maths. And that will result in a very poor result. So the key here is to study each subject every day. Physics, chemistry, maths, they all have equal weightage for your JEE, which means also that you have to allocate equal hours to each subject. How many hours you allocate, that depends on how dedicated you are, depends on how much time you can get out, how much time you need for sleep and everything. But by the way, I'll tell you, it's high time that this becomes your priority. JEE is your priority now. Okay, so allocate equal hours to each subject. Don't be partial with anything. Do not be like, I love physics, so I'll study 12 hours physics and then 1 hour chemistry, 1 hour maths. Don't make that mistake. You're not pursuing a master's in physics. You're pursuing JEE. You need equal weightage for everything. And finally, the breakdown, it's pretty straightforward. Your time, whatever time you have, 10% of that time is for revising notes. 30% of the time is for clearing backlogs. And 60% of the time is for practicing questions. Now, see, I told you that you have to study each subject every day. You have to allocate equal hours to each subject. So suppose you study 15 hours a day. 15 hours means you have 5 plus 5 plus 5. Physics, chemistry, maths. So for physics, you need 10% for revising notes. 10% is just half an hour. So this would be equal to just half an hour. See how little time I'm giving to reading theories and all those stuff. And you'll tell that is a very wrong method. I will not even remember the formulas. Half an hour is not like, how do I mug up formulas? If you're mugging up formulas, you're making a mistake. Half an hour is not enough, but you will technically have more. 30% time is for clearing backlogs. And these two are actually interchangeable. So if on that day you have a plan, if that day you have a plan to study one chapter, and that is a chapter that that's not a backlog chapter, that's a chapter you're comfortable with, then study notes for half an hour. 30% is equal to, so let's write this down. So how much would 30% be? It would be 1.5 hours. 1.5 hours, and 60% is soft, that's 3 more hours. Okay, so now see, if it's a chapter that's not your backlog, it's a chapter you're good in, or you're like, I think it's comfortable enough. Okay, from what years is PYQs enough? Nova asks. So PYQ is enough. I'll say that go as far back as you can. I mean, at least go till 2006, 2005. Better still, you can get all of those PYQs on the Infinity Learn platform itself. Go over there you will get topic wise, because I'm teaching you these topic wise. It's like every day one topic. Go there, you'll get, so it's not just about till what year you want to go to. Because even if you go to 1980s, for instance, 1990s, there might be a question that's relevant to you now. So if you waste your time opening a 1990s paper, and out of 60 questions or 75 questions, you're figuring out 2 questions that are applicable to you, you're wasting your time. That thing is done for you. Come on the Infinity Learn platform, check out over there, you will get all the PYQs over there that are relevant to the current syllabus, even older years. So don't go surfing for PYQs over there. If it's there, you'll do that. Don't search for yourself. Okay? So PYQs from what years? Go far back. You can go far back, but don't search yourself. If you want to solve full papers, I would say 2011, 2012, 2010, you can go that far. 10 years back you can go if you want the full papers. But even then, that's not enough. You can go further back. through the Infinity Learn app. You'll get all the PYQs that are relevant, even from pretty old, from different even earlier there were state competitive examinations. Like I'm from West Bengal, we had WB JEE back then. So even they had questions. So you'll get questions from there as well, previous year's questions. So you'll have access to all of them over there. So like I was telling, let's get back to it. So if it's a chapter that you know, half an hour for notes, 4.5 hours for practicing questions. You punch this time in practicing questions over here if it's a chapter you know. If it's a chapter that you don't know, if it's a backlog chapter, then you add this over to this side. So then 2 hours becomes your actual note making or reading or watching a video lecture time. And then 3 hours practice questions on it. Is this clear? Let me know, is this breakdown clear to you? How this 30% time can either go to 60% or it can go to this 10%. Let me know if this is clear to you. This is crucial. This is the method that I used. This was my breakdown during my preparation to get an All India second rank. Okay, you can follow this. You can even make your own. If there's something else that suits you, you can even make that. But the key is that make sure that the time breakdown you're doing is not an excuse. That you're not putting 3 hours over there just for notes. Don't use it as an excuse. See what will get you the maximum results. I'm telling you, you'll get results from solving questions. Alright, so these were the 5 points over here. I'd like to end with this. So it's like Dr. Strange says, we're in the end game now. For these 2 years, you've heard that JEE is a marathon. So Nova asks, if we start a chapter from scratch, even if you start a chapter from scratch, Nova, I'll tell you, go into a video, go into a lecture. We have lots of lectures. We have one-shots on the Infinity Learn platform. I don't know if you're from Chaitanya, then you'll even have access to the Meta app. If you're there, go over there. You'll get the videos. Look at it through a video. It's a video. You can even go it at 2x and then jump straight into questions. Why do I say that? Because while doing questions, so you remember how it was just half an hour. It was just half hour for notes. But in these 3 hours or in these 4.5 hours, when you can't solve a question, you will look at the solutions. And a solution is notes. That can be the notes. You'll get the formulas there as well. So you're essentially doing notes throughout, but you're doing it through solving questions. Alright? Is that clear, Nova? Even if you're starting a chapter from scratch, then treat it as a backlog chapter. Give it 2 hours. So not 2 hours if you're doing 5-5-5. If the breakdown is 5-5-5, give it 2 hours and then jump straight into questions. I'm telling you, you'll get a much more effective and better result this way than in any other way. So it's like you heard that it's a marathon. It's like 2 years, you have to toil, 3 years if you're a dropper. So we had Amal Krishna who was saying that I was a dropper. So it's like you've been toiling for 3 years. It was a marathon. Now 37 days are left. Now it is a sprint. Now you have to run the fastest. Now you can't jog. You have to sprint. You have to use up that energy. You have to use up that willpower that I was telling you about. Now, here's the thing. In life, I like to leave off with this final piece of advice for you. So we are mostly done with it. I'd like to leave you with this final piece of advice. So at some point in your life, you will have to work hard. You'll have to work hard. You'll have to toil. And that hard work can be now. If you do the hard work now, if you give your everything now, you get a good rank, you get a good college. The rest of the life, you can have it easy. Or you can not work hard now. And then you won't get a good college, and then after you start getting a job, later on, that is when you'll have to work very hard. So you can either work hard now or you can work hard then. The only issue is that now you have already spent 2 years working hard. If these 37, these 40 days, you like, okay, I'll do it a little slow. If you slack off, you'll have a lot of regret. You'll have a lot of regret if you just slack off in these 37 days because you've already put in those 2 years. You put in those 3 years. You can just 37 days of intense hard work. So I told you about 15 hours. push it to 18 hours if you can. I know it's asking a lot. Maybe not right now. You can start with 15 hours a day. That gives you 9 hours besides study. So 15 hours, 24 hours, the entire day you have 9 hours. Start there. But try to get towards the end. Try to get to 18 hours a day. 6 hours, I know that's too little to sleep. But this 250 marks is worth sacrificing your sleep for. The best colleges, the ability, the opportunity to be among successful people, to be what you want, that is worth those sacrifice sleep. Alright, so that's it. So Rajesh, you just joined, you're saying hi sir now. Anyway, not an issue Rajesh, we covered a lot of points. We've covered a lot of points throughout and all of them are very vital. So this video will again be available soon. You people can drop in a comment. So when this video is available again, you people can drop in a comment. And also if you want me to elaborate on any specific, so we covered all of those points. If you want me to elaborate on any one point, or if you have suggestions that you want, sir, this kind of guidance I want, or can you tell about how to deal with this problem, or even chapter specific problems, or if you want to do a live Q&A at some time, post them all in the comment section down below. Our team is going to look through it. We're going to look and figure out what students want. Like this video, that's another crucial thing, because if you don't like, then this does not go through our system as well. We don't take the data as much from there, and YouTube also doesn't allow us that. So like this video, that's very important, gives us encouragement. And also leave a comment about what you'd like to see next, what you want for your preparation. We are there for you. We are there for you till the end to help you get that 250 plus. So ask from us and we'll give it to you. For 35 days plan, so 37 days plan, 35 days plan. Okay, Nova, that's there, but this chat is a bit more difficult. Do one thing, Nova. Once this video is available, it's again ready. Come back to this video, put it in the chat section. Put it in the chat section. Even if you have your friends, they have some suggestions. You have a bunch of friends who also are studying, preparing for JEE. They have specific requests and you like this video, then ask them to come and also comment over there. The more number we get, the greater number of comments we get for a topic, that's the first one that's going to get picked up. All right. So before you go, do like, comment, share, subscribe. This video is going to be available soon. So thank you for the supportive chat over here. So highlight us is one shot for every topic, I'm assuming. Every topic sufficient for the next 35 days. If that's your backlog chapter, then go for the one shot. Then spend time over there. If it's not, if you already have the notes and you're roughly ready with it, then don't go for the one shot. Stick to your notes, give as many questions. So notes, like I keep saying, they'll be available in the Telegram channel of Infinity Learn. Also, you'll get them on the Infinity Learn app or the Meta app, depending on from where you're using it. Take them in and study them. Let us know. So for 35 days, Nova is asking for it. Sure, Nova, like I said, put it in the comment. Get a few more people to comment the same thing, because then that will be on top of our priority list of videos. Okay, so meanwhile, if you're here, if you've enjoyed it, stayed through so far, do subscribe. It's a big help to us. It's a big help to the entire team who puts this together for you. And that's it. That's all, folks. It's like Looney Tunes. That's the end of it. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in the next one.